It's September 2017 in Sofia, Bulgaria. A woman sits in her luxurious penthouse apartment, surrounded by designer furniture and expensive artwork. She's scrolling through news headlines on her laptop, and every single one mentions her name. But these aren't the kind of headlines she wants to see. The FBI has just added her to their 10 most wanted list. Interpol has issued a red notice for her arrest. She's now one of the most hunted people on Earth, and it's all because of a cryptocurrency that never actually existed. Meet Ruja Ignatova, the self-proclaimed crypto queen, who pulled off what investigators are calling the biggest cryptocurrency fraud in history. She convinced millions of people around the world to invest in OneCoin, a digital currency she claimed would revolutionize finance and make Bitcoin look like pocket change. The only problem? OneCoin was never a cryptocurrency at all. It was an elaborate Ponzi scheme that stole over $4 billion from ordinary people who believed they were getting in on the ground floor of the next big thing. This is the story of how one woman built a financial empire on nothing but lies, how she vanished into thin air with billions of dollars, and how her victims are still searching for justice today. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll understand exactly how OneCoin worked, why so many intelligent people fell for it, and where Ruja Ignatova might be hiding right now. But first, let me tell you why this story matters more than you might think. The OneCoin scandal didn't just rob people of their money. It destroyed families, bankrupted entire communities, and shattered trust in legitimate cryptocurrencies for millions of people worldwide. Some victims lost their life savings. Others mortgaged their homes or borrowed against their retirement funds. The ripple effects of this scam are still being felt today, and the woman responsible has never been caught. What makes this case even more fascinating is how sophisticated the operation was. This wasn't some amateur scammer sending emails from their basement. Ruja Ignatova had a PhD in law from Oxford University and a master's degree from Harvard Business School. She worked for prestigious consulting firm McKinsey & Company. She spoke multiple languages fluently and moved in elite circles across Europe and Asia. She was brilliant, charismatic, and absolutely ruthless. The OneCoin story begins in 2014, just as Bitcoin was starting to capture mainstream attention. Cryptocurrency was still a mysterious concept to most people, but early adopters were making incredible profits. Bitcoin had gone from being worth pennies to hundreds of dollars per coin, creating a new class of millionaires seemingly overnight. The media was full of stories about regular people who had invested small amounts and become wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. Ruja Ignatova saw this excitement and confusion as the perfect opportunity. She understood that most people wanted to invest in cryptocurrency, but found Bitcoin too complicated or expensive. They were looking for the next big opportunity, something that could deliver even bigger returns than Bitcoin. She decided to give them exactly what they wanted, even if she had to create it out of thin air. OneCoin launched with all the sophistication of a legitimate tech startup. The company had glossy marketing materials, professional websites, and educational seminars held in luxury hotels around the world. Ruja positioned herself as a visionary leader who understood blockchain technology better than anyone else. She claimed that OneCoin would be faster, more secure, and more valuable than Bitcoin. She promised investors that they were getting in early on something that would change their lives forever. The marketing was incredibly sophisticated. OneCoin wasn't sold like a typical investment. Instead, the company sold educational packages about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Buyers would receive course materials, webinars, and access to exclusive events. As a bonus for purchasing these educational packages, they would also receive OneCoin tokens that could supposedly be mined and traded for real money. This structure was genius from a legal perspective. OneCoin wasn't technically selling cryptocurrency directly. They were selling education, which made it much harder for regulators to shut them down. The company could always claim they were just teaching people about blockchain technology, and the coins were simply a free bonus. The educational packages ranged from a few $100s to over $100,000. The more expensive packages promised access to more exclusive information and larger quantities of OneCoin tokens. Sales representatives, called Independent marketing associates earned substantial commissions for recruiting new investors. This created a multi-level marketing structure where success depended not just on your own investment, but on how many other people you could convince to join. The system worked perfectly. People who got in early saw their OneCoin accounts show impressive paper profits. The company's internal exchange showed the value of OneCoin steadily climbing from cents to dollars to tens of dollars per coin. But there was one crucial detail that investors didn't understand. The OneCoin exchange was completely fake. It was nothing more than numbers on a screen, designed to create the illusion of value where none existed. No one could actually sell their OneCoin tokens for real money. The exchange was a sophisticated theater production, complete with fake trading volumes and artificial price movements. Meanwhile, Ruja was living like royalty. She bought a penthouse in Sofia worth millions of dollars. She purchased luxury properties in London and Dubai. She traveled the world in private jets, staying in 5-star hotels and dining at the most expensive restaurants. She wore designer clothes and jewelry worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. All of this was funded by money from OneCoin investors who believed they were building their own wealth. The company held massive events that felt more like rock concerts than financial seminars. Thousands of people would pack into convention centers to hear Ruja speak about the future of money. She would walk onto the stage wearing glamorous outfits, backed by dramatic lighting and pounding music. The crowds would cheer and applaud as she made bold predictions about OneCoin's inevitable success. These events served multiple purposes. They made OneCoin feel legitimate and established. They created a sense of community among investors who felt like they were part of something revolutionary. Most importantly, they generated massive sales as attendees rushed to purchase larger educational packages and recruit their friends and family members. The psychological manipulation was masterful. Ruja understood that people don't just invest money. They invest their hopes, dreams, and identity. OneCoin wasn't just promising financial returns. It was promising freedom, security, and the chance to be part of history. Investors felt like they were joining an exclusive club of forward-thinking individuals who understood technology better than everyone else. The company created elaborate backstories about their technology and development team. They claimed to have breakthrough innovations that would make OneCoin superior to all other cryptocurrencies. They published white papers filled with technical jargon that sounded impressive but ultimately meant nothing. They hired actors to pose as developers and executives at company events. Dr. Ruja, as she preferred to be called, became the face of this elaborate deception. She gave interviews to major media outlets, appeared at legitimate blockchain conferences, and even spoke at events alongside real cryptocurrency experts. Her academic credentials and professional background gave her credibility that most scammers could never achieve. But behind the scenes, cracks were starting to show. Technology experts who examined OneCoin's claims found no evidence of an actual blockchain or cryptocurrency. Journalists began investigating the company's operations and discovered inconsistencies in their story. Regulators in several countries issued warnings about OneCoin, but the company always found new markets to exploit. Victims remained trapped because they couldn't cash out their supposed fortunes. When people finally realized the truth, it was too late. Ruja Ignatova had disappeared completely, taking billions with her. She remains on the FBI's most wanted list today, somewhere in the world with a $10 million bounty on her head. The OneCoin scandal stands as a chilling reminder that even the most sophisticated scams can fool intelligent people when greed and fear of missing out cloud judgment. Thousands of victims are still fighting for justice, but the Cryptoqueen has vanished without a trace.